Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a really fun sort of beachy card. It's a dreary winter day here and I thought I'd make something that reminded me of a warm sunny beach. So anyway, it's a 6x6 card, relatively flat but a little bit of dimension, and I loved how it came out. So pretty easy to make, just a couple little elements, and let me show you how it's made. So we're going to start with our main element, which is our circle. And you could use this design for a lot of different things. And in fact, I probably will do several different variations on this theme. But the way that I did is I just cut, this is a 4-inch circle nesting die. It's a stitched edged nesting die. And all I'm going to do is take my piece of white cardstock and I'm just going to draw around the outside of the die, because then I know about where I'm going to put my seam. And it's going to get cut off anyway, so I don't care if there's pencil lines on it. Okay, so with that pencil line there, now I know where I'm going to put my inking. With this one, I used some white heat embossing to kind of make it the look of waves. I don't love how that came out, so I'm not going to do that on this one. We're going to start with our sand in our foreground. And for that, I'm using Sandstorm Harmony Water Reactives. And we're just going to kind of come up from the bottom lightly. And a little bit darker towards the water, because where the sand is wet, it would be just a little bit darker. And you don't want this to be a straight, even line, which is why I'm not masking it off. Okay, so there's my sand. Then I'm going to put my sky in. And for my sky, I used Baby Blue Water Reactive. And we're just going to come from the top down. I like the look of it kind of blotchy because it makes it look a little bit like clouds. Now we're going to take our water. For that, I've got Midnight. And I want to make a horizon line. Now your horizon line is straight, so pick a horizon. I've just got a scrap piece of card here to kind of create that line. And then we're going to pull our water down onto the sand in spots. And it's about like that. I'll go back in with my Sandstorm and just clean up that blue just a little bit. Okay, once you have that done, we're going to cut it out with our circle. Okay, so I've got that cut out with my circle nesting die. And now on this one I used, this is a stamp set I got off of Amazon. It just had a little sailboat and some birds that you can put on there if you want. There's a bunch of different other things. You could use palm trees or whatever you want. Or you could just leave it as it is, or you could draw in little birds if you want. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp some little birds on it because I do like the looks of the birds. Okay, there we go. So that's my little circle element. And next I'm going to do my shell. And the way that I did the shell, I used, this is from the Crafter's Companion Enchanted Ocean collection. It's a stamp and die. So from the Enchanted Ocean collection, I took a piece of, just a piece of white, kind of a shimmery vellum. And I'm going to stamp this shell on there with a smoked pearl opaque pigment ink, and then I'm going to heat emboss it with clear powder. That's good. So I've just got some clear embossing powder. And I'm going to heat emboss this. And I'm going to take the die that goes with it, and I'm going to cut both the vellum and a piece of white cardstock. And you can cut it at the same time. And it cuts through both of those at the same time. And I may just leave it just like that. The other one I put some color behind, but I used pink, and I don't love the pink. And I was thinking I'd put a little bit of the sandstorm, the brown, behind, but I'm not sure I need it. Maybe I will. I'll try a little bit. Give it a little bit of shade and color at the base. Now to glue those together, because this is vellum, and if you put any kind of adhesive on it, it's going to show. Yeah, it gives it a little bit of depth. I like that. So I like to use a double-sided adhesive. I have this magic sticker maker, and you can put the vellum in. And it gives you a double-sided adhesive on the entire back side of that. So when you peel it off and stick it on here, you've got adhesive across the entire thing, and you can't see it, which is exactly what I want. So one, it keeps it nice and flat because it's stuck down 100%. The inking is on the underside, so nothing's going to smear. And it keeps it from, because it's heat embossed, a lot of times the vellum will kind of wrinkle and crinkle, but with it stuck down, it doesn't. So that's perfect. Okay, now for our background, I used, this is just a 6x6 piece of off-white card. And I'm going to run it through my embossing folder. Now this is a 5x7 embossing folder, so unfortunately you're going to end up with a seam. So what I did is I just ran it through once to this end, and then once that's done, I'll shift it over and just do that last little bit. So that gives you the emboss on part of it, and now you need to do the emboss just on this piece. So just shift it over, put it back in, and we're going to re-emboss, rerun it through just with that section. And now you've got it embossed the whole way. Now, you obviously have a line there, but as you can see, I've got my ribbon that comes down there, so it doesn't really show anyway. And then I took my Sandstorm ink pad and just very lightly went over it just to highlight that embossing. And you don't have to do the whole thing, and you don't have to be super neat about it, because the circle's going to cover up a lot of this. And then you got ribbon coming down here. So I just want to get kind of the ends, the edges. And if it's not even all the way around, I don't care. If parts of it are darker or lighter, that's fine. I just want a little bit of color to kind of pick up that embossing. Just like that, that's it. And now let's put together our card. So I have a 6x6 card, and I've got my piece of embossed card. Now this is just a wire edged, like a burlap ribbon. And because this is just under 6 inches, this piece I cut is about 8. And I'm just gonna leave, you know, about half an inch or so there. And because it's wire edged, I can just bend it right over. Put it on there. And get some glue. We're gonna put some glue underneath. Bend it back. This is just tacky glue. And now we're gonna put a good layer of glue all over. And when you're gluing down embossed card, you want to get a good layer of glue on there. And make sure you get it on the right way. While we're doing that, I'm going to raise this up on foam pads. So I'm going to put some foam pads on, and I like to put a little bit of glue under and on top of my foam pads. Put a bit of tacky glue on. Then I'm going to put my shell right down here, again on some foam pads. Put that on top of our ribbon. And we're done. I mean, you can add a sentiment. I usually add my sentiment later when I know who and what I'm going to use it for. But it looks just like that. So here's the first one with a little bit of pink behind. And this one I put just a little bit of brown behind. This one I did use that stamp to make the sort of some ocean froth. Don't love that. Much happier with this one. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So thanks for watching.